Many Americans are asking, why did the United States have to attack Iran now? Well, let me explain. Iran wants to have nuclear weapons. Of that, there is zero doubt. If what they truly wanted, which is what they claim, is nuclear energy, well, they could have nuclear energy like all the other countries in the world have it. And that is, you import the fuel and you build reactors above ground. That's not what Iran has done. They build their reactors and their facilities deep in mountains, away from the public glare. And they want to enrich that material. The same equipment that they could use to enrich material for energy, they could use to quickly enrich it to weapons grade. So it is clear that they've been offered every opportunity to have a nuclear program that allows them to have energy, not weapons. And every single time they have turned it down. But why the attack now? Well, what was Iran trying to do? Iran was trying to build a conventional shield, in essence, have so many missiles, have so many drones that no one could attack them, and they were well on their way. We were on the verge of an Iran that had so many missiles and so many drones that no one could do anything about their nuclear weapons program in the future. That was an intolerable risk. Under no circumstances can a country run by radical Shia clerics with an apocalyptic vision of the future ever possess nuclear weapons. And under no circumstances can they be allowed to hide and protect that program and their ambitions behind a shield of missiles and drones that no one can do anything about. This was our last best chance to eliminate that conventional threat, that conventional shield that they were trying to build. And the president made the right decision to wipe it out now. That is the goal of this operation, to destroy their conventional missiles and their drone program so they can't hide behind it and finally have to deal with the world seriously about never, ever having nuclear weapons.
You know, Iran wasn't just chasing peaceful nuclear energy. They were building fortified underground facilities deep inside mountains. You know, enriching uranium to level that have zero civilian purposes. It's not for civilian purposes, you know, and stacking up thousands of missiles and drones. What's their goal? You know, create an immunity shield, a massive conventional arsenal so strong that no one could touch their nuclear program once it crossed the finish line. You know, remember back in the days, there were the federal government seized a uranium illegal trade of uranium that it would be transported to Iran. You know, remember that. You know, you can search that on YouTube. You know, think about that for a second. You know, a radical Shia cleric regime openly chanting "Death to America, Death to America, Death to Israel" for decades, with apocalyptic beliefs, armed with nuclear weapons and protected by a wall of missiles. Oh, come on. That would change the entire Middle East and the world forever. One nuke in the wrong hand could spark a catastrophic we can't even imagine. Now, many of you will say, why America have a nuclear? But we know for decades, America is a very responsible nuclear owner. But how can you let, as an American, we cannot let a regime who's been shouting death to America. We cannot allow that. That's why the coordinated US-Israel strike in late February targeted their nuclear sites, missile factories, navy and air defenses. It was preemptive. Yes, but as Rubio explained, waiting would have meant facing a much deadlier fight later with way more American lives at risk. You know? This isn't just about one country, it's about the dangerous intersections of radical ideology. We know that Shia Muslims are very radical. They are very radical. They are the one who's been chanting death to Christianity, death to America, death to Israel. You know, advanced weapons and rogue states racing towards weapons of mass destruction. History shows us that when dictators get close to nukes and feel invincible, the cost of stopping them skyrocket. You know, diplomacy failed for years. Sanctions weren't enough. Actions became necessary. It is very necessary for Trump administration to act now. You know, George W. Bush, he said before, don't. Obama said don't. Biden said don't. But they never did something about it. What did they do? Never, nothing. Even President Obama have a nuclear deal with Iran. You know, that's why this attack is very necessary. But you know, What are you thinking? Am I right? Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to like this video and don't forget to subscribe. I'm out. Peace.